Hello, maraming salamat po sa pag-click ng video ko. Actually, bored lang dito sa bahay kaya gusto ko lang i-share sa inyo yung experience ko during my IELTS examination, and maybe doon sa experience ko you might get some tips for your future IELTS exam. Actually, apat na beses ako nag-take ng IELTS exam. The first one is the IDP, the second one is the British Council, the third one is British Council, and the last one is the British Council. I took my first IELTS exam last November. No, it's in January 2017. That was 3 years ago. Magti 3 years na. So, the reason behind why I took my IELTS examination because out of curiosity perhaps, and I'm also planning to move for Canada. So, sa IELTS, meron tayong dalawang program. Merong academic at saka merong general training. Academic is kung magsa-study ka abroad or kung mag-aaral ka abroad. General training is for the skilled worker. If you are going to work abroad, it's for the skilled worker. So I registered my IELTS exam as a general training. So, ganon. And also to find out the difference between the IELTS exam and the board exam. What is the difference between the two? Or saan ba talaga mas mahirap, the board exam or the IELTS exam? Kapag ako yung tatanungin, maano konti yung IELTS examination. Medyo mahirap konti unlike board exam. Kasi nga, 'di ba, sa board exam, you have to read the question, select the best correct answer, and you have to shade or write the letter of the correct answer. But not in IELTS. In IELTS, you have to perform four types of exam. We have the speaking, reading, writing, and listening. You might ask what is the difference between the academic and the general training during the examination. During the examination, actually the same yung speaking ng academic at saka general training. The same with the listening and the reading. Magkaiba lang pagdating sa writing. Kasi sa academic, sa writing, in academic, you have to interpret a chart or a chart. Oh, as far as I can remember the chart, you have to interpret a chart, interpretation of the chart. But in general training, they will ask you a specific type of question and you have to formulate an essay. You have to create an essay for at least 150 words. That is for the task 2. For the task number 1, you have to write a letter. A letter, if it is a formal letter or a informal letter. Balik tayo sa experience ko. The first experience of my IELTS examination was in IDP. That was January 2017. So, a month before my examination is nag-register na ako online. So, walang review, walang preparation. So, wala lang talaga, as in, wala lang talaga. Parang, ano lang, for the sake of experience. Ito yung mabibigay ko na tips or suggestions sa inyo, guys. Excuse. If you are planning to take the IELTS examination, you have to book or register online a month before your IELTS examination. Why? Because limited slot lang po yung IELTS exam. Ano yung limited slot? Unlike the board exam, they are accepting thousands of applicants. Sa IELTS exam, it ranges 70 to 100 takers only. So, kung magre-register ka 2 weeks or a week before the exam, I think mauubusan ka ng slots. So, I highly recommend or highly suggest na dapat a month before the exam, you have to book online or to register online. So, for example, plano mong mag-take ng IELTS February 2009, February 9, 2020, you have to book online January 9, 2020. And that's it. So, ganun, para safe ka sa slot mo. So, ganun. Sa pag-register, syempre, you have to write some important informations, your birthday, your complete address, your complete name, your ID. ID, ito yung babasehan during your IELTS exam. They will not allow you to take the examination unless you have the valid ID. So, I recommend your PRC ID or your passport. If you don't have the PRC ID, I highly recommend your passport. Ganun. And your mailing address, the complete address, and the email address. Ito yung, again, another tips and suggestion. You have to write your complete mailing address. Why? Again, that is because dyan email or dyan ipapadala yung TRF mo or test report form o yung resulta ng inyong IELTS result maliban sa nakikita maliban sa pinopost nila online yung result is sinisendan kanila ng hard copy ng test report form mo and your email address. You have to fill in the active. You have to give your active email address. That is because they will send you the schedule a week or 7 to 10 days before your date of examination. They will send you the schedule, the time, the venue of your speaking test, listening, reading, and writing test. So, importante yun. Hindi sila nagbibigay ng specific date na ganung date sila magbibigay ng ganun date sila na hindi sila nagbibigay ng specific date kung kailan sila mag-email sa'yo, kung anong oras sila magbibigay sila ng schedule of your speaking, reading, and listening. So, you have to check your email from time to time. Usually, 7 to 10 days yung 7 to 10 days yung pag-i-email nila sa inyo about your final schedule for your speaking, reading, writing, and listening. Sa IELTS exam, meron tayong dalawang klaseng program. We have the academic and the general training as what I have said before. Sa akin, yung tinake ko is general training. Na-notice ko lang, sa 4 ko na experience, sa 4 times ko nag-take ng IELTS, lahat is nauuna yung speaking. And then the next day is the listening, reading, at saka writing. And then, yung mga taong nagtitake ng academic, nauuna yung listening, reading, writing, and then the following day, the speaking test. So, ganun yung na-observe ko sa kanila. So, after mo ma-fill in lahat ng important informations online, you have to pay online. I think wala nang ibang method sa pagpipay ng examination fee maliban na lang sa bank transfer at saka sa online payment, ganon. Pero mas convenient yung online payment, so you should have your debit card or credit card, so ganon. And people are asking what is the difference between the IDP and the British Council. Actually, wala naman talaga masyadong big difference talaga between the two. They almost have the same process of examination. They have the same process. They have almost the same question, but different schedule. If you ask me, bakit 3 beses ako nag-take ng British Council? Kasi mas convenient ako doon sa lugar, sa venue ng British Council kaysa sa IDP. So, ganun. Pero wala talagang masyadong big difference between the two. And your IELTS result will posted 13 working days after your exam. Say for example, magte-take ka ng January, ngayon, January 9. So, lalabas yung exam sa 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 o 24 na labas na yung exam. 24 ng hapon or 24 ng gabi. Usually, yun yung time na lumalabas yung exam result. So, ganun. Madali lang masyado yung exam. Unlike sa mga board exam na it will take months before the examination results. Sa IELTS, madali lang. 13 working days lang. Ganun. And then you have to pay online. As far as I can remember, last IELTS exam, my last IELTS exam, that was November 23, 2019. 10,760 yung nabayaran ko online. So, nag-take ako ng IELTS sa British Council. Yung nabayaran ko is 10,760 pesos. So, ganun. So, sa Grand Regal Hotel sa Davao. And 2 days before the examination, kasi taga Coronadal ako, 5 days before 5 hours drive from Coronadal going to Davao City yung ano. So ayaw kong gusto ma-stress. So a day before the exam, the speaking test is nagbiyahe na ako to refresh and to give me more time to study. So ganun. Pumila ako una sa registration. So, pinakita yung ID ko. And then they will take you a picture. And then dapat pogi kayo sa picture nyo kasi doon sa TRF o sa test result form, doon din naka-attach yung picture nyo. So, I suggest sa speaking, you have to wear formal attire. I recommend slacks, black shoes, long sleeve, basta anything na formal attire para to give a good impression to the interviewer. Ganun. So, ganun. After ko na magpa-register, after ko na makuha ng pictures, so nasa waiting area na ako. Before ka pumasok sa speaking test, kasi sa speaking test is individual, face to face. Sa isang room, dalawa lang kayo, the interviewer at saka ikaw. So, you are not allowed to bring your cell phones. You have to deposit your bags. All you have to do is you have to bring your identification or your passport. Upon entering the room, you have to sit down and he or she will introduce his or her name first, and then after which is you have to introduce your name also. It's somewhat like a casual conversation. They will ask you your favorite color, your favorite movie, are you studying or working, what are your hobbies, where is your address, somewhat like that. So, ganun lang naman. Wala masyadong serious question about math, about science, wala talaga. Kasi sa speaking, tinitest nila yung vocabulary, grammar, sentence construction, and using of English language. So, ganun. And then the speaking test will last for 15 to 20 minutes only. So, you have to give your best shots to within that 15 minutes to get a high band score. So, that's it. And after that, bumalik na ako ulit sa room ko. Then prepare myself for the next day for the writing, reading, and listening. So sa reading, writing, listening, maaga akong dumating sa Grand Regal Hotel sa Davao. I think 7 a.m. ako kasi yung registration opens at 8 a.m. So 7 a.m. ako nag-open, and then I have to search my name. I have to search my name. Actually, hindi naman talaga masyadong marami yung IELTS takers. Kasi usually nag-range lang 70 to 100 takers depende sa season. May mga season na sobrang rami. Actually, maximum na yung 100. Maximum yung 100. Minimum is 70 or 60. Mga ganun. So, ganun na. Limited slot. So, nire-recommend ko sa inyo a month before the IELTS examination. Dapat is mag-book na kayo kasi limited slot lang. You have to go to the announcement or the bulletin board, and you have to find your name and your seat number. That is the very important one, your seat number. After you find your seat number, you are required to deposit your bags. You are required to deposit your bags together with your wristwatch and your cell phone. It is recommended to turn off your phone or switch in a silent mode your phone. You're not allowed to wear your watch inside the testing center, and you are not allowed to use cell phones inside the testing center. So, kailangan nyo talagang deposit ng gamit doon sa baggage counter. They will give you a number to claim your stuffs. By the way, you are only allowed to bring clear bottled water. Pwede kayo magdala ng tubig kung gusto niyo uminom ng tubig while tayo exam, pwede yun siya. Pwede kayong magdala ng clear bottled water. Bawal yung may seal, bawal yung merong mga plastic cover, bawal yun. So, kapag bibili kayo ng mga plastic bottled water, you have to remove the plastic. Dapat clear lang lahat. So, pwede yun siya. Unless i-insist mo talaga na dadala ka na hindi na hindi mo i-remove yung plastic cover, then you are not allowed to take the IELTS exam. So, after which is pipila kayo doon. I-validate yung ID nyo, kukunin yung fingerprint nyo, and then isa-scan yung katawan nyo, yung body nyo. If there isa-scan yung tawag doon? Metal scanner. Medyo stricto yung management sa IELTS. Yes, stricto talaga yung management sa IELTS. Once you are in the testing room, as much as possible, you are not allowed to go out. Pero, pwede naman lumabas, umihi, or something na may kukunin ka sa bag mo na wala naman masyadong iihi lang talaga, ganun. So, once nakapasok ka na ng testing center, hindi pa naka-start yung exam, you are allowed to go to the comfort room. But before that, isa-scan ka pa ulit, isa-scan. And then, punta ka ng comfort room, labas, and then pagbalik mo before ka papasok, isa-scan ka ulit. So, ganun sila ka-stricto sa'yo. So, ganun. Don't worry about your pencil, don't worry about your eraser, because they will provide you an eraser and a pencil. So, ganun. You don't have to bring your own pencil and eraser. Only sharpener. Pwede pa sharpener. Kahit sharpener, hindi na pwede. Hindi na pwede yung sharpener. Ano pa ba? So, everything is set up na, ganun. Ang first na exam namin is the listening test. If you are worrying na baka hindi nyo marinig masyado yung listening test, don't worry kasi malakas yung audio ng room. Malakas yung audio, malalaki yung speaker. You are not using headphone, malalakas yung speaker. They will play a sample audio or the first 5 seconds of the or 10 seconds of the audio to test the volume kapag naririnig ba ng lahat clearly yung conversation. Kapag hindi, you have to be honest na, excuse ma'am or sir, uh, hindi ko masyadong naririnig uh, yung conversation kasi it's on for your own sake kasi you cannot answer properly the questions if you are not clearly hear the conversation. So, ganun. Pero don't worry, malakas yung audio, malinaw, malakas. Ganun. After ng listening is the reading, the reading test. The reading test is last 1 hour yung reading test namin. Actually, 40 items lang. 40 hours for the listening and 40 hours for the reading. 40 hours lang. Ayun. So, sa reading, yung una kong binabasa is yung question. Yung question yung una kong binabasa. And then, followed by the paragraph. The paragraph yung binabasa. So, sa question, binibilugan ko yung important idea or information dun sa question that might give me a hint on the paragraph. So ganun. You are allowed to write on the test booklet. Pwede yun. Pwede. Yes. It is absolutely allowed to write on your test booklet. Pwede. So doon, binamarkahan ko yung important details sa questions and then hinahanap ko doon sa paragraph para to save time. So, ganun yung technique ko. And then, after that, after ng reading is writing. So, writing. Sa writing, we have 2 tasks sa writing. Based dito sa experience ko sa general training. Sa general training, we have the task 1 and the task 2. The task 1 will be the letter writing, but you don't have any idea what will be the letter, if it is the formal or informal letter. Formal letter, if it is a business type letter, or you have a letter for your application. Informal letter if it is for your family or for your friends. So you have to identify that one. And the second task is the essay. They will give you a specific type of question in a piece of paper, specific type of question, and you have to give your answer. You have to give your answer. Write at least 150 words. But I recommend you have to write at least 200 words. Why? That is because the more na mas mahaba yung writing mo, the more it will give you more score. Pero dapat malinaw, malinis, tama yung sentence construction mo, grammar, vocabulary, spelling, and alike. So I recommend, kasi 1 hour lang 20 minutes for the task 1, which is letter writing, and 40 minutes for the essay. So, ganun. So, I recommend na you have to practice writing. You have to practice writing na mabilisan talaga. And you have to use time method. What is the time method? The topic, the idea, example, idea, and example or elaboration. That is the time method. Yun yung ginagamit ko. The topic, idea, example, idea, and the elaboration. And last is the conclusion. Sorry, masyadong malamig. And also you are allowed to wear jackets. Kapag masyadong malamig doon, you are allowed to wear jackets naman. Wala naman problema doon. And right after the writing, wala. Yun. Right after the writing, you will be allowed to go out, get your stuffs, and then pwede kayong bumalik sa tables nyo and take the snacks. Libre po yung pagkain. Kasi usually, natatapos sa exam is 12 or 11. So, lunchtime. Libre po yung pagkain or snacks. Sa amin dati, um, burger, spaghetti, french fries, juice, and pansit. Yun. So, I hope nakatulong sa inyo yung experience ko at nagbigay sa inyo ng tips in preparing for your future IELTS exam. Maraming salamat po. Happy New Year!